Alright. Now can I be heard? Waiting. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Mute that now. Welcome. I am Mori. That is what I go by on the internet. I haven't uploaded in quite some time, and I do not plan on uploading anytime soon afterwards. However, this video is not for the faint of heart, nor is it in regards to anything uplifting. I simply want to report on my own health, and hopefully I could relate to somebody, either, going through a hard time, or has passed such similar events, as we are all unique, and my experience and my feelings will not exactly match up to how you will interpret something. Currently, I am a first-year college student in my second semester of university. There's about a month left in the spring semester, though it doesn't seem like I will last that long. I've been depressed lately for about a month going on now. It probably started before a month, to be fair. I lost all my hobbies, or I fell out of all my hobbies and desires in mid-February. And then I began taking medication too. And I have not been to class in the past 2 weeks, and I've probably spent over $400 to $500 in those 2 weeks on Uber eating alone. And the reason for that is not because I wanted to, rather it is because being in an unstable state that is depression, I do not have the energy to leave my room and go to the various cafeteria halls that are on my campus and is offered through the dining services. I've reached out to the mental hub that we have on our campus, which is provided through a bigger college. I checked in on Friday and was able to receive help soon after on the same day, within 30 minutes of me visiting the care of their building. And I spoke with a person, with a licensed counselor, and I've always been afraid of therapy, of psychologists and psychiatrists. I view the consciousness and subconsciousness as abnormal phenomena, specifically a sort of magic. It is definitely a tool of power that somebody can wield for good or bad. Uh, it Learning the brain and the mind in general is super fascinating, but it is very dangerous if you believe in esoteric things, such as I do. Uh, just because of my unique life situations and experiences, I've observed and discovered things that leaves me to believe certain beliefs which would otherwise be illogical to have. But back on to the topic. Um, I spoke with this licensed counselor, and it I felt uh, I felt less weight on my shoulders. In the moment, I didn't feel anything, but since then, I have appreciated the conversation I had with the counselor. Um, I did learn throughout this depression episode is nobody can actually understand depression without experiencing it because it hits everyone differently. For me to be able to explain it to somebody is breaking logical boundaries that people cannot do normally. When I say I don't have energy to do the simplest of things, it is a bizarre statement, no doubt about it. I always thought that depression was a sad feeling, but in my case, it was not at all that way. Of course, there's factors that resonated with the emotion of sadness, but not a direct cause from depression itself. Uh, Not being able to get out of bed was rough. I just laid in bed and had my computer with me. Everything felt so far away. And I still feel the same way now. Nothing has changed. I'm letting life go by while I sit here in the dark, alone, being moved by the ocean. Though I, myself, am stationary, static. Um, I wish I wasn't. Uh, but there's really nothing I can do nothing I can really do to change my mindset right now. What was interesting is, well, let me back up. I've never received mental help because I was always too afraid to open up and really express my feelings. I am fairly a broken individual with a lot of deep hatred. Uh, so it's not really something I prefer to. My preference is not to involve negativity in other people's lives. It is not something I uh, go around appreciating in myself. getting a lot of those frustrations out and being heard about it was a nice pace of change in my bottling process. Um, Nevertheless, being not able to go to classes and sitting on my bed feeling like absolutely nothing other than wanting to go home. I realize of how progressive I am beginning to be as I experience and recognize my mental downfall. I also, in a parallel pattern, recognize how important it is of of appreciation and being happy. It's quite an odd thing because two things that I would like to have, however, they are the same two things which I do not have. Each time I approach something of the sort, I fail. I may be somewhat resilient in the fact that I do try again, but the same result uh, occurs, that being failure. And I think having depression and anxiety and all those other factors is a great way for either people calling you a snowflake or over victimizing yourself. This is one of the things that I always talk about when it comes to mental health. Mental health is a self eating worm. I do not truly believe that you can fix your mental state because it wraps with your subconsciousness, something that we still do not completely understand or are able to control. Once we do, then mental health would break away from this self-eating loophole that it currently resides in today. I know that my generation has the most troubles in regards to dealing with mental health and expressing it. But a lot of people are able to push through. The normal amount of society is. I do not believe I'm a part of the normalcy of that population. The feelings that I have about myself and about my future has been stagnant. I do not see myself achieving anything. Um, the only thing that keeps me moving is my immediate family and my cowardice to ever attempt something that would bring me harm. Because after a while, when you realize life is truly not that beautiful, and in the end, there's no point of any of this, then why continue? The only reason why to continue is the damning emotions that we have. The sensation of being alive is the frightening aspect of being dead. Death wouldn't be so scary if two things were true and no. One, our family is with us, and two, I should say our loved ones are with us, and two is we keep our sensations. That is something that we all deeply appreciate in the subconscious level. And once you lose certain sensations, you begin to realize how important they are to you and in life. Not Earth is indeed hell, or the underworld, Gehenna, as the Hebrews would call it. It is a pretty place, such as a beautiful woman, although the beautiful woman is the rudest and most poisonous person you can imagine. That is what our Earth is. That is what being a human is, living the human experience is all about. It's a two-faced kind of world that we live in. For those who murder other people, they are hated and thought of as trash of the world. I thought about their psyche and how they feel. And it is indeed tragic that other people have to die or are killed because of a selfish person. However, if you try to empathize with that person, you begin to realize something that is important. They are evidently trying to help others and/or take revenge on the world. For some, the world is a place where you are kicked down every single day, and others, they are rewarded. They smile, they are happy, glad to do their mundane routines. Others may hang in the balance, feeling both sides of the token. The one thing is that people that do things on behalf of their mental health, it was never truly their choice to do something like that. It was the environment that elected them to do what they did. It is like Darwinism, social Darwinism, where the unfit dies and the fit goes on. The unfit are those that struggle mentally. These struggles may be inherited from parents, or they may be inherited by the environment they are in, the rude people that surround them on a daily basis. People are the worst thing. People say that humans are social creatures. However, not all social creatures are good. And once a social creature interacts with one of its kind and experiences negative encounters time after time, the isolation that that social creature feels begins to form a glacier within. Once that glacier grows, expands after a while, and then one day something hits the glacier and cracks, something will go down. It may be very severe, or it may be nothing. It may be something small. Whatever it is not their fault. We do not have full control of the realm that is our consciousness. If I could be happy within this instinct, I would. If I could be the smartest individual in the world, I would. If I could have motivation, energy, care, love, I would. I don't have any of this stuff. I am just sitting in the moment. I really wish there was a solution. I do. The most important thing is your younger years and how you're treated outwardly, inwardly. Mental health is something. I'm going to restate this before. I'm going to reiterate the previous statement I said in the beginning, and then I'm going to end this stream. Mental health is not something that can be explained in a logical manner. To get a full understanding and of the severity it has on the mind and body, you have to directly experience the feelings to understand what it does to you. And again, everyone's different and unique in how their brain handles these things. Some people will have correlations while others will be more distant than the third planet in our solar system to the seventh planet in our solar system. The society that we create has a big impact on people's mental health. But that's something that we will never be able to control. Because we do live in a chaotic and random world.